Please see broken bar, don't leave me here alone, a broken bar. The woman's trembling voice echoed in the cold hospital corridor. Her designer heels were gone, her makeup washed away by tears, and her once confident tone had turned into a whisper of fear. Few would have recognized her now as the same powerful CEO who commanded boardrooms and headlines, now sitting helpless on a hospital bench. But one man did recognize her as the single dad she once overlooked. He stopped mid-step, holding his daughter's small hand. For a second, he thought he must be mistaken. The woman sitting there, crying into her hands, couldn't possibly be her. What it was, the woman who had fired him 2 years ago without the second thought for missing a meeting because his daughter had a fever. The hospital lights flickered above, and the air was thick with silence. His daughter, little Emma, tugged at his sleeve. "Daddy," she whispered, "that lady is crying." He looked down at her, her innocent brown eyes wide with concern, and something inside him shifted. He could have walked away. He should have walked away. But something about seeing the once unshakable woman so fragile made him stop. "Stay here, sweetheart," he said softly, kneeling beside his daughter. "I'll be right back." He approached slowly. "Are you a broken bar okay?" She lifted her head, startled. When her eyes met his, she froze. Recognition hit them both like a wave. Her lips parted, but no words came out. "Mark, a broken bar," she whispered. "You shouldn't have." "I was just passing by," he interrupted, his tone calm but distant. "What happened?" Tears welled up again, spilling over as she clutched a small folded blanket in her lap. "My son, broken bar, he was in an accident. The doctor said broken bar, they said it doesn't look good." Her voice broke. I can't lose him too." Mark's chest tightened. He knew pain. He knew what it was like to fear losing the only person that kept you going. Without a word, he sat beside her. The silence stretched, but it wasn't empty. It was human, real. "You used to talk about him," Mark said quietly, "when everyone else was gone. You always mentioned your boy." She nodded slowly, wiping her tears. "He's all I have. I spent years building a company, chasing success, a broken bar, and in the process, I missed his childhood. Now he's 17, and I barely know him." And now her voice cracked. "I might lose him before I get the chance to make things right." Mark looked down at his calloused hands, remembering the night his wife passed away, the nights he stayed up with Emma, terrified of failing her, the loneliness, the guilt. He understood her more than she knew. "I used to think being there for family was weakness," she continued, staring blankly ahead. "I thought people who missed work for family didn't have discipline. I was wrong." She turned to him, her eyes glistening. "I was so wrong, Mark. I'm sorry for what I did to you." Mark took a deep breath. "You don't owe me anything," he said. "Just don't make the same mistake twice. If he wakes up, be there, every day. Don't let him feel alone." At that moment, the doctor walked in, his expression unreadable. Both of them stood up, bracing themselves. The seconds stretched painfully until he said the words they'd been praying for. "He's stable. He's going to make it." Her legs gave out, and she fell to her knees, sobbing in relief. Mark caught her before she hit the ground. She clung to him, crying into his chest. It wasn't about pride anymore. It was about being human, about breaking down in front of the only person who understood what true loss meant. "Thank you," she whispered through tears, "for not walking away." Mark smiled faintly. "You don't have to thank me. Just promise me one thing, be the mother he needs, not the CEO the world wants." She nodded, tears streaming down her face. "I will. I swear I will." Weeks passed. Her son recovered slowly, and Mark visited the hospital often, not as an employee, but as a friend. Emma and her son became close, spending hours playing games and laughing in the waiting room. Slowly, the walls the CEO had built began to fall. One evening, as they sat watching their kids draw together, she turned to him. "You know, I used to think strength meant never showing pain, but now a broken bar, I think real strength is standing back up when life breaks you." Mark chuckled softly. "That's what single parents do best. They fall, get up, and keep walking." She smiled for the first time in weeks, a real smile. "You taught me more about life in these few days than I learned in all my years running a company." And as the sun dipped below the hospital windows, painting the room in gold, something changed between them. Not romance, not yet, but a connection. raw and genuine. Two people broken by life, finding healing through understanding. Months later, she reopened her company, but this time, things were different. She added daycare in the office. She gave single parents flexible hours. She made family first not a slogan, but a promise, and she often told her team, "Don't ever let work make you forget why you work for the people you love." At the company's annual meeting, she invited Mark as a guest speaker. Standing on stage beside her, he shared his story, how life had tested him, and how compassion, even from unexpected places, had saved him. When he finished, the room erupted in applause, and she leaned over and whispered, "You were right, Mark. The greatest success isn't found in power or profit, it's in people." Later that night, as Mark and Emma walked to their car, she called out softly, "Mark." He turned back. She smiled gently, her eyes reflecting gratitude and peace. "Thank you, broken bar, for not leaving me alone that night." Mark nodded. Sometimes, all it takes to save someone is to stay. He walked away with his daughter's hand in his, the city lights reflecting in their eyes. Behind him, the once feared CEO watched quietly, no longer the woman who ruled with fear, but one who finally understood love, loss, and the strength of a heart that never gave up.